Hello, my name is Fatma and I am making the frog which in our game is our player. Here is the frog class which is inheriting from the unit class over here. Now if the player wants to move the frog forward, he will have to press the right key button. As soon as he or she presses the right key button, the frog will move on screen. What will actually be happening is that the Y position of the frog will be changing in accordance with the frames, while the background screen will be moving in the opposite direction, which will make the frog look as if it's jumping and moving forward. So here is the final output right now. If I press the right key button, the frog jumps like this, which seems good at the moment. The remaining task is to add the fruits and the rocks, which will be added soon. Thank you.
Okay, so we have chosen these sprites for the game. They show different action. For the hive, we will only use the first sprite. Eventually, as the frog will shoot the hive, it will get destroyed, so we will use the preceding sprites. This is the main sprite sheet which we will use. Let's have a look at the functions. Today we will particularly focus on the hive function. We have this constructor, render and get destroyed. This constructor has 3 sprites for now. We can increase them later on. This is the render function because by default the hive will have to appear as a whole, and as we will click any key or when the frog will shoot, the hive will get destroyed and then we will have to change the sprites. So get destroyed is a function for that. Destroy state represents what stage of getting destroyed it is on, and as let's have a look, and as we will click the space bar, we will call the get destroyed function, so it will get destroyed. Let's have a look. So it appears as a whole. We click spacebar, it gets destroyed. We click spacebar again, it gets destroyed again. Although the position isn't correct yet, but this is how the thing will work.
Hello everyone, my name is Mariam Hassan and today I'm working on File Manager class. Here's the basic logic of how save file and load file function would work. For loading and saving a file, we will be using fstream. To save a file, it uses offstream. It writes all the game variables in a file named as file.txt here. To load a file, it uses ifstream input from a file, and it reads each line of the file which corresponds to a particular game variable and updates the screen according to it.
Hi, so this week I'm going to implement the inheritance, and so the classes that I designed this last week was tree and the ground class, and both of these inherit from the unit class. So I will also create a new class now, which is the obstacles class, and this is basically what the user would have to avoid in order to continue in the game. So if he hits these obstacles, he will die, and that is basically okay. So this obstacle class is almost like the tree class, so I'm going to use these functions in the obstacle class. And so the obstacle also has a variable which is boolean, which is visible, and it is of boolean type. And okay, I should save this first. obstacle.h. So these functions are public functions for this class, and So like the tree, this obstacle also has a constructor, default constructor, and a destructor. And this obstacle also inherits from unit.h, so I will include that. And hashtag, I don't know if so the ground class was basically the background, and these objects, the tree and the obstacle, these both of these objects should be displayed on top of the ground so that the user can see them.
Hey guys, so this week I was gonna work on a splash screen. This splash screen that I created on Photoshop. This is our game name, and this is the name of our group. And this is a code that I made in the main file. I wrote all the code in the main file, but later on I will divide them into the CPU file and header file. So here is my texture class, and these are the functions I've defined over here. The main thing I did was in the main function over here. So actually in this code, what I'm doing is, this code helps me to fade in and fade out the picture after some time. It gives a look of the splash screen, which is not actually a splash screen. I will work on it later on, but for now it does work as a splash screen. So what is the A actually? The A is actually the value of alpha, which decreases and increases after some time. I set this alpha value over here. This is a function set alpha, which helps me to set the alpha value of this. That's it for this week. Next week I'm gonna do work on that.